Okay, so you're here because we met through tabletop stuff, but
Yeah.
I wanted to invite you because you worked in restaurants for a while.
Yes.
Last time on the show, we talked to Joe Laporte about his sweet tooth and strange sodas.
10 years.
That's an accomplishment, y'all.
I know.
Marriage is a lot of work.
It's a choice. It's a choice you make every day.
You make the choice every day.
You make it every day. You wake up and you're like, I guess we're
I
doing
could go,
this
but we're
another
not.
day. We'll do this one more day.
One more day.
And every
One
day you
day
do that.
more.
I like to have like sort of like a set of things that are always around that I can use for in case of leftovers. Like
Oh, I love that. Break in case of leftover.
yeah, it's nice to have like some fresh herbs in the fridge and a couple of types of tortillas, and it's nice to have a big thing of like cooked rice in the fridge so you can make fried rice at the drop of a hat. So you never know when you're gonna need some. Things like that, things that are kind of like leftovers ready.
What is your go-to replacement?
I guess it depends, right? So if I'm cooking and I want like a scramble, it'll obviously be tofu or some sort of like chickpea situation. But if I'm baking, there's so many different things that cause that chemical reaction that you want eggs to do. So you can do like a baking soda vinegar egg, which causes that lift, or you can do like applesauce or yogurt to like bind. So
There's a Philippine basketball team called the Alaska Aces.
Wait, what?
They've been around since 1986. They've won several championships. It's because the Alaska Milk Corporation is their sponsor. They're the Professional Basketball Association, and for some reason, a company became the...
Alaska was sponsoring...
No. A Philippine company called the Alaska Milk Company sponsors a basketball team.
You were blowing my mind.
What keeps popping into my head is when I think of honey and spicy is like a hot honey on like a fried chicken sandwich. So what if you were to take the mushroom, turn that into some kind of patty, fry that, and then put the hot honey on, then put that on a bun?
Yes, a chicken fried mushroom! Like on a nice squishy potato bun, but these ingredients all kind of work harmoniously together, and that's kind of the realization that you have to have in the kitchen. Most things actually might go together. I'm a fan of a galette that doesn't have a perfect shape. I like folding over those uneven edges.
Yes, if anybody doesn't know what a galette is, it's basically a pie where you make the dough, you put berries or whatever good apples in the middle, and then you just like literally you put it on a baking sheet and you fold over the edges of the pie dough. So it's like a kind of like
overnight dumpling sort of thing.
Yes, galette is like, it's awesome. It's the way to go.
Pie without the tin. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Let's talk about the food that you kind of grown up with. And I think there's one that we have in common, which is rice.
Have you heard about this miracle grain?
Have you heard about this?
Have you heard about the king of all grains? Right here, rice, the single template, like right here. I don't know, like I guess obviously being Latino, being Ecuadorian, just rice has been a part of my life.
Oh, hello, friends. It's me. Welcome back to Attack the Pantry. I am Jenn de Vega. This stream is a deep dive into ingredients, cooking techniques, and recipes to help you cook for yourself during the ongoing thing that's happening outside and for the rest of your adult life. Hey, friends. You can watch all the past clips here on my channel if you click on videos, and the entire archive is located at youtube.com/JENNDLV. How are we doing today? How are you? Glad you are here. Callie! Last week's guest is in the chat. Hi, Callie. Good to see ya. Let's get some business out of the way. Friends, I am a Twitch affiliate. That means if you subscribe to my channel, some of that money goes to me, so that I can make this channel much better. But one way to get around that is if you have Amazon Prime, you can gift a subscription to your favorite creators every month. So if you have one, click that purple button that says gift a sub, and you're going to get this cute little crown next to your name in the chat. It's so nice. I have tons of links to get to know me. If you click on the About tab here on the Twitch channel, and it's below the video, you can click around. There's some Patreon, there's some Etsy, but we have some guests. We have some guests. Guests, plural. We have some guests, plural. Please welcome my friends, Dylan and Aram.
Hi.
Hey.
You're here.
We are.
We did it.
Despite someone's best efforts.
Yeah, I know, Dylan. Really, let's be on time next time.
Wow. Already the tensions are high. Already. Let's say hi to some folks in the chat. Daniel's here. Tracy's here. Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, folks.
So a question I always ask the guests is, how do y'all know me?
Well, we first hung out on my show. Like, I knew you. I knew of you.
Yes.
But the first time we actually met is when you came on our shows, when you came on Kill Every Monster. At least that's when I first met you.
Yeah. Please explain for the chat, what is Kill Every Monster?
Kill Every Monster is a show where Aram actively tries to make my life worse once a week.
Torture.
You mean that's not every day?
Yeah. Torture every
No,
Dylan.
because we don't live in the same country. So I could just avoid him most days. No, Kill Every Monster is a show where we wander through the Monster Manual for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and I complain about design, and Aram complains about stories, and then we have a guest on to tell us about their favorite monster. And then we run a quick little actual play segment where the guest gets to play the monster, and Aram plays a normal character, and I referee a death match.
Yeah, each show is about a different monster. So the first half is talk, the second half is an AP using some of the things we came up with, and you can just jump in anytime. You don't have to listen in order. You can just pick whatever monster you want, because each episode is its own little contained thing.
I love
if you
that.
wanted to
And
listen to a random episode about mushroom people, that would be a fantastic place to jump directly in.
Yeah, the Myconid episode, let's see. Let's get the link. I'm going to grab the link right now so that folks can listen to it if you would like.
It was a good one.
Here we go. I was really happy that we lined up my episode for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Very
that was
appropriate.
Dylan's idea.
There are episodes that more obviously would have fit, but there was no episode that was creepier by the end of it.
Oh.
Jen, as anyone who knows Jenn from Fun City is aware, Jenn is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
am a monster.
Yeah, and there's something uniquely terrifying about a hive colony, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's gone bad. That's just a uniquely scary thing. So that worked out really well.
Yeah, I had a great time. But folks, you should listen to the episode if you want to hear all about our conversation and my hidden mushroom knowledge.
Yes.
I have a lot of hidden mushroom knowledge.
Also, I make a pun that almost made Dylan leave the show.
I heard that pun again, and it was explained to me in an audiobook for Entangled Life. Do you know about this book?
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
Yeah, it's a UK author named Merlin Sheldrake, and he has this very thorough nonfiction book about mushrooms and just how integrated mushrooms and fungi are in our everyday lives and in the earth, and it was just really fascinating. So if you want to check out that book, I got it at my library and I loved it, and it had that pun in it that you referenced, but y'all will have to listen to the episode to hear what we're talking about. No spoilers.
Also, get a library card if you don't have one. Just
Yes.
get the card.
Support your local
library.
Also,
even if you just go in there and take a couple books off the shelves, every book they have to restock is part of calculates their funding.
Yes.
So even if you just walk in, move a few books, not even check anything out, you're helping out.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And in New York, they have free COVID tests. You can take 2 per day, and you can walk in every day and get them. It's awesome.
Yep.
I'm not mistaken, their
let's-
restocking based on what gets taken out. So if you
Yes.
do show up, get your COVID test,
Get the
and
good
just
stuff.
check out a bunch of gay books. You don't have to read them.
Yeah.
Just find the gayest things you can. Take
Yes.
those home, sit on them for a week, bring them back.
Absolutely.
But it
Just
would be
make the
great
world a
if
better
you
place.
gained something from these books.
You should
sure.
also
Yeah, you
read
can read them
books
too.
if you
We're not
want.
saying
You
don't
should
read
Like
books.
a nerd.
Oh, looks like Owen is in the chat. Hi, glad you're
Hey,
here. Hi. Let's get started with our big segment. We always have a show and tell segment on this show.
Yeah.
And if you would like to participate in the future, my chat friends, all you have to do is tag me in your food photos on Twitter and Instagram, or you can DM them to me if you're not comfortable posting them on whatever those places are. Or you can send me articles about food stuff, or take a picture of something in the grocery store that you don't exactly know what to do with. We will help you out and figure it out here on the show. But check it out. Let's see what's new. What's going on in my life here. We have a new culinary word of the day episode that went out today. So that's all about resting. Why would you rest your meats or cakes? Why do you need to rest them? Find out on that episode.
I don't know. I have to listen to that episode. I
There you go.
know people do rest. I have no idea why. I will check that out. Also, I've never heard of resting a cake. So that's something new on me.
There you go. There you go. Oh,
Is that
thank
just
you for
because, like, as far as
subscribing.
I know, waiting for a cool to rest, like that's just when it's cooling down. That's just the temperature in which
We
it's too
can't
hot to put on
explain-
icing, and you have to
We
be
can't
patient,
explain
and you
resting
have to
right
wait.
now. That's what the episode of the podcast.
I'm just saying, it's a perfect one for me.
It is a perfect
Yeah.
episode for you because it is beyond just cooling it down
Yeah.
for the icing. So,
It's a
yeah.
struggle, man, when you're waiting that hour for that cake to be
It
icing ready.
is. It is quite a struggle to wait for cake. I know what you mean. I totally know what you mean. This week on Patreon, patreon.com/randwiches, I shared a recipe from a wedding that I catered for banana leaf salmon. This solves a particular problem that I have. If you've ever made a large side of salmon, I always break it when I move it from the sheet pan to the platter. So the banana leaf actually is like a sled. So you can bake on it and transport the
brilliant.
salmon with it. Oh, Kelly. My dad makes the same joke every time he grills meat. He says, "Quiet now, it's resting."
Oh.
It's so good.
That is
love it.
such a dad joke.
It is a very good dad joke. At Wonderville in Brooklyn here, I curate the hot dog program, and this week we are still serving the Ocarina of Brine. It's a whole spear pickle with a sprinkle of nutritional yeast and lime on a Brooklyn cured or a Yeah Dog vegan hot dog. And I actually will be going to the bar tonight to refill some of the ingredients. If folks are in Brooklyn, I will be there tonight.
That's great.
Yeah. We have some merch here on the channel now. If you subscribe to the channel, you get access to the egg emotes, but you can also buy a sticker sheet from the shop. These are all brand new. I just started this shop. I'm going to put the link in the chat. We also have an Eggy anorak, which is a light jacket. It only has a hat zipper, but it's one of those pullover things, and it's water resistant, wind resistant, and has a cute embroidered egg on it. So
That's
if you'd like to
adorable.
show your eggs around town, recommend you get one.
We're going into a spring. It's rainy season. Always good to
Yeah,
have a
it's
little bit of
true.
protection with you that can easily be packed away and looks like an egg.
Yeah. Okay, here we go with show and tell. Very exciting stuff. Kelly, last week's guest, shared this Trader Joe's spice that I did not know they made. So it's called ajika, or if anyone has a better pronunciation for me, I will happily repeat that. Have either of you seen this at Trader Joe's or in the stores?
No, and my first instinct was, I wonder if the spices are Armenian, because whenever I see Whenever I see an IAN, I always just assume it's got something to do with Armenians. But no, I've never seen this spice.
It looks cool. I think I might try this.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Kelly, for sending it in. I mean, you could do so much with this, like popcorn, steak, eggs.
It's spicy and garlicky. So that does sound perfect.
That's all you
what I
wanted in the
put there
first
anyway.
place.
Yeah.
That's
the
a
marigold
win.
is an interesting pull because I've never seen marigold used as a seasoning.
Yeah, I've only seen marigold as a tea and not as a seasoning. But it is edible.
I wonder
so.
what that would taste like.
Floral.
Gonna have to buy.
Marigold
Checks out.
I was guessing. I don't know.
That would make sense.
But this is very interesting. I read a lot about spices, and this is one that I had not heard of yet. So thank you, Kelly, for the heads up.
Yeah.
This is from Faye,
Great.
aka Lazy Pants Adventures on Instagram. Devil's Food Skull Cakes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Even the way the
texture on those foreheads are horrifying.
Yeah. And the teeth, that's good.
It's really good. I have this pan, and I use it to make pizza skulls every year.
That's great.
And it's a nonstick pan from Nordic Ware, which is extra metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
A metal company named Nordic Ware is very metal.
Yeah.
We have an update from Kelly. Marigold tastes yellow.
It tastes yellow, y'all.
Yeah.
It just tastes yellow.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's see. My friend EE had a question on Twitter. Is there a world in which one could make a mille mochi? So what she's referring to is a mille-foil, which is a 100-layer crepe cake.
Okay.
Could we do that with mochi, she's asking? Like croissant-layered mochi. And my first thought was, it's a good question. But it's very sticky, if you ever had mochi before. But if mochi donuts exist, surely we can layer them without globbing it up.
Yeah, it would just be.
That sounds amazing.
I can imagine it being hugely time consuming because you would make a layer of mochi and then put whatever filling you're doing and then just set it on top of a new layer of mochi. It'd take an eternity, and I do not think it would be worth it at the end of the day. You could
It'd be
do
fun
it.
to try.
Yeah.
Fun to try. I think my only advice, if anyone were to try this, is to get mochi to not stick to the pan. You gotta put down a layer of glutinous rice flour. It doesn't stick to itself, if that makes any sense. And then if it sticks to your fingers, you actually want to keep a bowl of cold water nearby so that your fingers become slick when you're trying to shape it into stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good trick.
It is a good trick. My mom makes these fried mochi balls. They're kind of like these donuts, these mochi donuts, but it's on a stick and glazed in palm brown sugar.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would eat that.
Yeah. This one was sent in from Robert. This is actually in Savannah, Georgia, at Tamboran Gallery by the artist Christopher Chiappa. This is what we found on Instagram. It's a whole row of eggs.
Are they actual eggs?
No, I think they're sculpted.
I mean, I don't think they're. I mean, like were they and then made into something plastic? I don't know. But they were all sculpted. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just
all laminated actual eggs.
I don't know. Artists do crazy things, man.
Yes, we do.
Fair enough.
Because look.
That's great. You are so on brand.
Yeah.
That's
I made this
amazing.
for an installation I did here in New York, exploring comfort food. And so
cool.
I literally made,
So you made
comfortable
big, comfortable food.
Comfortable food.
Yeah.
That's so clever. I like that. That's
Give me
awesome.
grants, people. Give me more grants.
Now I just want like a bread chair. You know?
Actually, I bought couch upholstery for a big piece of toast.
Oh, yeah.
But I never actually finished it.
That's cool.
That's funny you said bread chair.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was thinking, like, what could I make a chair out of? And most foods would be unfortunate, but bread works out great.
Yeah.
You take a loaf of bread out the oven, you slice it, and you squeeze it a little bit. Like, that is just, it's cushiony, it's comfortable, it's got just enough give, but it pushes back. Lovely.
It's like memory. It's like memory foam, but you can eat it.
Yeah.
You can eat memory foam if you're willing to try.
I mean, you can. Yeah.
Not advisable. Not advice.
No, do not eat memory foam.
Disclaimer, do not sue us.
Yes, do not slice your memory foam thin and place it in your toaster.
Definitely do that. It's probably flammable.
Do not do that. Do not listen to Dylan.
Have y'all heard of Breadface? Do you know who Breadface is?
Wait, is it where the hole is in the middle? That's what I'm assuming, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Breadface is an Instagram account. It's this woman who mostly obscures her identity, but she buys a loaf of bread or a pastry every week and just squishes her face into it. She literally puts her face in the bread.
Hang on.
Yeah. I can pull it up in a second. But Minji's in the chat. Hey Minji, I have met her IRL.
Yep.
She dated my neighbor.
That's hilarious.
Very New York conversation.
It really is.
That's so funny. Hi, I'm glad you are here in the chat. That is hilarious. Good insight. I will pull it up and we will look at it together. After we look through all the slides here. Breadface. I want to make sure I have the right one. Nope, that is not her. Sorry, 1 second.
Just make a whole bedroom out of food.
She's Breadface blog on Instagram, but we will catch that. We will pick up a video in a second.
Nice.
Let's see. Okay, thanks Robert for sending this one in. We love egg art in the world. This is from Daniel in the chat. I made achara with my leftover green papaya using my recipe. Very exciting. So for people who don't know what achara is, it's a Filipino green papaya pickle. And it's like a sweet brine with brown sugar, and we've got carrots in there. It's very good and crunchy. It's kind of like tropical sauerkraut.
Oh wow!
Think of that.
Yeah, that actually makes it very, very like present.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had a green papaya before, or ever seen it?
No.
So
I'm from Canada. We don't get tropical things here.
Oh, I must smuggle a papaya to you somehow. But green papaya acts very differently from a fully ripe orange-yellow papaya. So the orange-yellow papaya, we know what that is. It gets dried sometimes. You eat it as a fresh fruit. But the green versions act more like potato.
Oh.
So you can skin it and then boil it. It becomes very translucent, looks unmistakable from a potato, actually. But a lot of Southeast Asian countries shred it really thin to make papaya salads or this achara pickle. Oh, thank you, Daniel. I'm so glad you made it. It's so good. Can't resist grabbing a forkful every time I open the fridge. Cool. Yeah, let us know in the chat how else you used it. Cool. Love to see my recipes in IRL.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a little small, but Syed sent this one in from the Video Game History Foundation.
I remember this ad.
You remember this ad?
I'm old. I remember this ad.
Oh my god, Neo Geo is a hot dog, not a weenie, metaphor in the 1991 ad for its technologically advanced but expensive home system.
Yeah. That system didn't work out, as it turns out. No one actually bought that.
No one actually bought it. It was way too expensive.
Despite their amazing weenie advertising, no one bought that thing.
I think it's hilarious that I don't know, anecdotally, just from selling so many hot dogs at the bar, I know a majority of people order them plain, which is very disappointing to me, but They clearly were not speaking to the right audience.
I'm that person. I'm the person who orders plain hot dogs. I'm the person who walks into a ice cream shop and orders vanilla because it'll be the best vanilla I've ever had. That is me.
I'm not going to disparage you for that because you know what you're getting. You know, like that's an expectation thing. But for people who love adventure,
no, go for it. I'm not saying anyone else. I'm just saying I am that basic bitch who will walk in to like an ice cream cookie store, right? I was at one in Chicago. They got all the cookies in the world. They got all the ice cream in the world. They make both things fresh, put them together. It's fantastic. I got sugar cookie with like birthday cake icing in the middle. Like I am so basic
great.
white boy. It was, do not get me wrong, but there were other options that were slightly more adventurous.
I get
than the
you.
one I picked.
There's nothing wrong with the classics, though.
No, nothing. Especially when they're really done well. Like if something so simple is done so beautifully, it is so very evident that it is good for me. And food is like something that I dabble in, but I'm not that experienced in. So it's nice for me to have like a very clear benchmark that I can go, oh, this is excellent.
You know, this also carries over to the ad here because the Nintendo clearly blew them out of the water.
Yeah, crushed them with simplicity, as opposed to bragging and trying to make it complicated like Neo Geo did. Also, they didn't have controllers that were the same size as the friggin' thing, so that probably helped too.
Oh, that probably didn't help. Boy, shipping issue
I used to work in a pizza place, and one of the cooks who worked there gave me the standard lesson that every chef gets at some point. The whole you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth.
Yes.
Which didn't mean anything to me, but someone eventually explained it as basically, if you don't know what to expect when you're eating food, the best you can ever hope for is, But if you look at something and you know how it's supposed to taste and you're starting from that ground, then it can be incredible because you're starting from that. And when it meets your expectations, then exceeds them, it's fantastic. And then it loops back into the ad because I look at that and I know what that hot dog tastes like. But when I look at that other thing, I'm like, that's presumably mustard, but are those spirals of fucking lemon zest?
It's lemon zest. Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure those are whole slices of tomato rather than diced tomato. That's not edible. You can't bite that.
I thought it was salami. But it's not. It's
also
tomato.
such a weird call.
I mean, it's like not quite a Chicago dog because the Chicago dog has like the spear and the relish and celery salt, but the lemon zest really throws me on this.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So now I don't know what that's supposed to taste like. Like, I don't want to bite that. Like, just give me the regular one. I'll get my own bun later. Weirdo.
Actually, just give me a fork. I'll just eat that hot dog.
It'll be fine.
It's cool. I used to be like that as a kid. I would just eat a hot dog with like ketchup, and I know ketchup is not. Not a lot of people like ketchup these days, but also, as a kid, I would eat a lot of ketchup.
Also, this ad doesn't even match their slogan. Like, there's like, you're playing the incredibly high-powered Neo Geo system. Like, it's a high-powered hot dog. Like, what the heck does that mean? It doesn't mean anything at all. I don't know what they mean.
I would love to interview the people who made this ad.
Hello.
They're in their 60s and
what were you talking
I don't know.
I know. Yeah, they're older than me, so they're going to be old. Because they were old enough to make that decision.
We have a volunteer from the chat. Owen will eat the mystery.
All right. Someone should make this hot dog. Someone should recreate this hot dog and try it.
I said to Wonderville that we should make this hot dog on some Saturday night.
This terrible
and they vetoed you? Because
no, they didn't veto me. No, they didn't veto me.
That's not a good decision.
I will report back. I
really want to know now. I'm super curious. I expect it to be bad, so anything above bad is going to be a surprise.
I honestly think it's a little too busy. Like, a lot of stuff's just going to fall out. But,
it's just going to be muddled.
Yeah. Clearly, a chef did not make the hot dog for the ad.
Yes.
Clearly, no chef was consulted.
This was a visual thing.
This is a common complaint that I have about like cookbooks and just like TV shows and video games is that nobody consulted a chef.
Right.
And they just like make stuff and they're like, but you can't make that in real life. Why are you doing this?
But at the same time, it looks like they got some degree of like food.
They got a food stylist.
Food stylist.
Which is
That's
different.
Thank you.
It's very different from a
Yeah.
chef. But some are chefs,
Everything is
like me.
pointedly arranged. None of it
As
makes
far
any
as-
sense.
On the topic of food styling, something I found out really interesting recently is that on American television, if you show food, it has to be the food. There can be absolutely no graphics of any kind that are not actual food that was filmed. So when like you see a burger falling down or whatever fancy effect they have to make, all that's got to be practical.
Yep.
They have to actually build a machine to drop all those layers at the same time in front of it. It's an incredible amount of effort that goes into it, and there's no cheating whatsoever because we have these laws around you can't fake food.
FCC, yeah. It happened. I forget what year, but after the 90s, you know, after we had all those like really fake cheese pulls from like Pizza Hut, it would take 3 days to make that cheese pull.
There was a time when we just made food weird colors.
Yeah.
Just because we could in the 90s.
Yeah. But not anymore.
Everybody
I'm
remembers
a
the
practical
purple
food
ketchup.
stylist. Oh gosh.
Oh God, yes.
Didn't do well.
Yes.
Didn't do well.
That was the original pink slime.
This one came in at the last minute. This is from my fucking god goulash. Made some creamy mushroom, potato, and wild rice soup with paprika and dill. Wow. I've heard of the Grains for Every Season book. It looks awesome.
Yeah, talk about eating with your eyes. That looks fantastic.
I know.
Yeah. And like I
That's,
said, you know exactly what that's going to taste like.
Yes.
You got the sprigs of dill, so you know it's going to be in there. So even if you don't like dill, you're at least like, oh, it's not blindsiding you. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. The one on the left's going to be warm and creamy. The one on the right's probably going to have a little bit of a crunch. Yeah, you know, absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen to this spaghetti recipe. We got broccoli, salami, oregano laced ricotta, Calabrian chili oil breadcrumbs, and just using what was on hand. That sounds so fancy.
Calabrian chili oil breadcrumbs is something at a restaurant where they would add $10.
Yes. Totally. You're so on the money with that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
they have the Chilean oil breadcrumbs. Let's get it, dear. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we can spoil it. They left dried chilies in oil for a long time. Put that in a pan and toasted some breadcrumbs in it. That's all it is.
That just sounds really good.
They'll add $10
so good.
for it, but it's like, just do it. You can cook it. It's all.
I have a recipe for that. It's actually canonically known as poor man's Parmesan. It's for folks who could not afford cheese and instead would saute their breadcrumbs with like garlic and chilies.
That sounds awesome.
So
Yeah.
That's better than that store shelf stuff you get anyway. It's basically wood filling. So that sounds
Well,
a lot
yeah,
better.
they got in trouble for that. My
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it's just sawdust in there. It was like 60% sawdust.
Gross. We have a note from Kelly here. Top tier mental pull for a food stylist is Janice Poon from NBC Hannibal. I've seen her Instagram. It's insane. Like foodscapes. And she made Food and Murder look so good. Which I still haven't seen Hannibal at all. That show.
I've heard so many good things about it, and same. I just haven't checked it out.
Yeah. It's on
that
my to watch list.
combination, especially because she is so good at her fucking job. Everything is so graphic. All the murders are horrible, and all of the food looks so incredible. And then it just gets those two impulses running at once, and it makes it that much more disgusting.
You're
cool.
you're
looking at it
confused about how you
horrified
feel.
and
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, complicated feelings. Wow. This is from me actually. My friends. We started a sort of dinner party series where we kind of come up with a theme and we're just making stuff for fun. It's not for work. Like I was talking to my friend Kate about feeling burnt out because I'm always making food for other people and I've never really like sat down and made something for myself in the past 3 years, basically. So we decided to try making smorgastarta, which is Swedish savory cake.
I was wondering. It looks savory. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a challenge on British Bake Off.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. This feels
Yeah.
like a British Bake Off challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, so I made 3 little cakes, and so 2 of them are mine on the left and the center, and then Kate's is on the right, which is hers is a mushroom Lunar New Year situation because it's Year of the Rabbit.
Yeah. Is the bow made out of bread?
Is the what?
Was the bow made out of bread?
Oh,
that
the
what
bow on the
Yeah.
left
Cheesecake
is
on the left?
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made out of brown sugar tart.
Wow.
So the topper is a actual apple tart
Right.
that I just stuck on top of it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, so instead of cake, we baked our own breads that we sandwiched with filling. And so the left one is cheese, so stuff that you put in a cheese ball.
Right.
So I did like cheddar, cider, nuts, that's what's on the left side. In the middle is, I call the chicken and the egg cake, because in the middle is chicken salad, and in the top pool of it, there is kind of a saucy egg salad.
Okay.
And then when we cut it open, the egg kind of poured over it, so it had its own kind of extra sauce.
Oh,
Which
cool.
was really fun.
A little bit of
Yeah, but
performance
this
to it.
I
did,
like
yes.
performative food. I really do.
I mean, yeah, yes.
I had a baked Alaska for the first time last week, and there's
Ooh.
something just enjoyable about watching your food catch fire.
Yes.
It's just really
What
good.
else was on it?
Don't
it
do
was-
it in a bar.
God.
Don't go to your bartender and order a flaming drink, but you can order the baked Alaska. That's cool.
Yeah.
They put that on the menu. They did it on purpose. You're good.
Yeah.
It was like a spice cake in the bottom. It was a layer of, I want to say, I think it was like a cranberry jam, but it also had a bunch of other berries in it to make it lean a little sweeter. Then obviously a ice cream. I think it was chai spiced ice cream, and then the meringue on top, and then they dumped flaming cognac over it. Fucking
Damn.
Wow.
That's a lot.
yeah,
That
it
does
was
sound
nuts.
great.
That sounds like a nice.
The 3 of us
wintry
ate
mix.
it, and it was regrettable because you can't leave that on the plate.
Yeah.
So we went home and were sad.
Yeah.
Aww.
It was absolutely delicious, but that was a 4, maybe 5 person dessert.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oops, this one's off center. This was the other cake that I made.
That's adorable, by the way.
This is the traditional Swedish style cake. So this has salmon on the inside, trout dip, and then I put salmon eggs on top. So this is more of the traditional style of smorgastarta, because we had to have some kind of template for us to mess up afterward.
Yeah.
It was great. These are sandwiches that I made today, or toasts.
Yeah.
A single meatball slider with some cilantro, mustard, and on the right I have more of this chicken salad. I have so much chicken salad. I'm just trying to eat through the chicken salad.
Yeah, totally. How could I make it? What new recipe can I make with the chicken salad?
I know. Make it look different every time, so I
That's
don't get sick
that's
of it.
such a food thing that we've all done, though. We're like, oh god, I bought way too much chicken. So what can I do with chicken for the whole week? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Mhm. I also like the toast too. There was a restaurant when I lived in DC that opened up that was like all artisan toast. And I remember rolling my eyes so hard and being like, okay, artisan toast, whatever. And I walked in one day on a Sunday because my coffee shop was like slammed.
Mhm.
It was so good.
So good.
It was so insanely good. It was like, okay, you know what? This is $8 toast. I gotta admit it. This is completely worth it.
Oh my gosh.
9 times out of 10, when you see one of those restaurants where you're like, come the fuck on, try it once. Because they're probably right. They started
Most of the
they
time.
got the money together to have the restaurant there.
Yeah.
They're probably not wrong.
There's a little downtown where I am, right? And they don't have any, there's no chain stores whatsoever. There's no McDonald's, there's no Starbucks, there's these little mom and pops, except for one chain store. I can't remember the name, but it's all pretzel based. Okay?
What?
The entire menu is pretzel based. Everything reads like an appetizer. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. And I've always wanted to walk in and be like, so are you a front? Because this doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I am so curious about the pretzel place now.
I gotta get the
You're gonna
name.
have
But
to
yeah,
go.
it's an all pretzel based fast food. It feels like a Subway, except
Oh.
everything's pretzels.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gosh, anyone allergic to eggs could not
just
go or
like-
gluten. Yeah.
How do you like pretzels? I mean, how do you like pretzels so much that you look into a place that has no fast food at all, and you're like, you know what? Or maybe like
You
there
know what
was
this place needs?
Great, we need pretzels. We need lots of them everywhere. We're a relatively lakeside town. We need lots of pretzels. Or maybe there's like some kind of ordinance where like the town was stuffy and didn't want a fast food place, but the pretzel thing slipped under the radar
It's like
because no one
Footloose.
knew what it was.
It's like Footloose, but with fast food, but like
Right.
pretzels.
Right.
Let us have our pretzels,
No one
man.
expects a pretzel McDonald's. They just don't see it coming.
Incredible. We have a few things that people shared from the internet. So I'm going to share my screen more formally here. Let's see. My Chrome tab. Sorry, it's going to get a little weird for a second. Chrome tab, window. We're going to go with window. Okay. So check it out. Okay. Danelle sent this TikTok video. And I'm a huge fan of, sorry, play. I'm turning off the sound because I can hear it. But this guy recreates sandwiches that he sees. He set up a Google alert for sandwich, which is a lot of
That's gonna
stuff.
be busy, yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
Dense search.
Yeah, what are you? Is he then filtering that? Because like that seems like a lot of the internet.
So
would be
this
coming
is-
at him.
This is the first part of the video is him going like, yeah, sometimes there's not enough good stuff, but once in a while a good sandwich comes through. So this is from a New York restaurant called Num Pang, and it is a pastrami banh mi. So he's just recreating it here. And he's showing the article, like the Beastie Boys inspired Milan Deli pastrami. The unfortunate thing is they don't serve this anymore. So he is just he did his research, found out the ingredients, and is now making all of these. But it's super cute and genuine. So his username is Sandwich Idiot. If folks are on TikTok, and I'm only on TikTok to watch stuff. I don't really make anything. So it's super cute. This guy is really earnest.
Yeah.
Like, look at that pastrami go. Look at that.
I have a lot of food stuff I watch. I'm gonna have to check this guy out.
Sandwich Idiot.
Yeah.
Chili spiked mayo. He makes biker plain onion, horseradish, ketchup, mustard.
Well, this looks easy. I could do this. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of pantry stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really approachable. He seems really chill too. So let's fast forward a little bit to the finished sandwich.
He seems like the opposite of the Dylan Hollis guy that's got all that energy, like all that crazy manic twink energy.
I can't
he
do that. I can't do that. It stresses me out.
He's funny though.
It
That
really
looks
stresses
fantastic.
me out. Yeah. So super cute. Thanks, Danelle, for sending this one in.
Awesome.
Here's the example of Breadface blog on Instagram. She's gotten really fashion oriented lately. So all of her videos are like sponsored now, and she wears
Right.
really fancy clothes while she does it, but she still smashes her face into stuff.
Okay, that's what
No
it is.
joke. No
Okay.
joke. She just smashes her face. But yeah, she
I
has,
say this with no disrespect intended, but this is a fetish thing, right?
It feels that
yeah, a little bit.
way. Yeah. That's cool though.
Yeah.
It's
like
shot so
here.
interestingly. That
Yeah, here
really
we go.
dramatic angle with the camera on
Yeah.
the counter where she's kind of just out of frame. Yeah. How did she? Did you know how she started doing this? Like what was the impulse to
It
start
just
this
started-
channel?
It was a Tumblr, so she
Right,
just did
right.
this. I mean, she started with regular bread,
Right.
you know, and then started doing pastries and wearing nicer clothes, doing background lighting, and but yeah, she just does this over and over again. She's famous for this. Like, She
It
curates.
is so much better when it's a non-responsive bread.
it's like she's basically just shoving it around with her face.
I know.
It's not really doing anything.
I know. It's really funny.
The whole like rolling her face, shoving her nose in between the individual slices. Yeah, that is going for a certain vibe.
Yeah, inbred fetish. Thank you for that, Scuttlebutt. Thank you so much. Testing the viability of bread pillows for your bread bed. Owen. Love it.
You gotta do the research. Can't just grab a loaf and hope.
We have a question here from Caroline on Twitter. Jen, since you're a genius, do you know any of the comprehensive histories of the evolution of cooking, not just for a specific region, but like for civilization in general? The Wikipedia page is kind of scanty. And my answer is below here. It says foodtimeline.org, and I actually have this tab open. So I'll share this with you. It is a very HTML website.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic because it's just a scrollable timeline. From the very beginning, man had water and ice and salt. I'm going to zoom in for you a little bit here. See, look, and it's a lot of stuff that people were eating in the 17,000 BC era. But we have, individualized things on the left, and then on the right, we have more of the larger developments, so like bread, flour, and soup. Mm-hmm. Yeast breads around 4000 BC. That makes sense biblically. Got ice cream in 3000 BC. That's a surprise to me. Ancient
That is
Egypt,
a surprise.
Mesopotamia, polenta in 900 BC. So yeah, it gets pretty condensed here as
It's amazing.
Food history sort of grows exponentially.
Sure.
But it is fascinating that no one had been eating dormice until the 1st century.
Right.
It's not enough meat on them.
Right.
It's just
A lot
not
of
worth
effort,
the
yeah.
effort.
Very small.
Yeah.
It's
Very
like
small.
when people try to feed you, is it quail, the little bastards?
Oh yeah,
Right.
really tiny.
It's like
Tiny.
pomegranates for chicken.
Tiny,
Just
tiny,
the
tiny.
effort investment for the food output, not worth
This
it.
blows my mind that casseroles were not a thing until 1708.
That is nuts.
That blows my mind. Punch, 1698.
I mean, and this is all as far as we know.
As far as
Right.
documented, yeah.
Right,
So
exactly,
it
yeah.
probably culturally was a little active before that.
Yeah.
But
All of this
I
probably
feel like-
existed somewhere, but as far as like hitting the cultural zeitgeist, that's where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like casseroles have to be baked, and I wonder when the oven became like a standard thing as opposed to just cooking over a fire.
Right.
Baking a casserole might not have been like that. Might have been a technological innovation.
Yeah. When did an oven become a personal thing as opposed to like a communal
Community
thing?
thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a good question. I mean, commercial foods start at around 1740. So around war times here. War,
Sure.
basically.
Yeah.
How do
War
we
does
define
drive food
commercial
innovation.
foods? Because don't we know that they were selling food, like there were food stands in Pompeii?
Yeah.
I think they mean packaged for mass consumption,
Right.
perhaps.
Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
Or mass-produced stuff, yeah, in general. So it gets really compressed here toward the end,
Oh,
or
yeah.
not end, but toward modern time.
Towards the end of
Toward
time.
the end of time.
It goes to like 2026 for some reason. It's very ominous.
Instant ramen noodles, 1958. I can't believe we've lived this long without them. Wow. Fruit stripe gum gets a line in the 1960s.
That was my
But we gotta
favorite
get down
gum.
another
Me
couple of
too.
years. Is it on there? Because Owen called out that the 80s were when they did ciabatta in the first place.
Oh,
Which, if
no
I remember
way.
right, was a
76.
revenge bread.
Ciabatta? I don't think I
bread.
have it on here.
Yeah.
Am I
so
spelling wrong?
the
CIA?
anecdote that I heard was that ciabatta was developed because they didn't like that they were getting baguettes imported from France.
Ah,
The
yes.
ciabatta is just revenge bread. Like, fuck the French, we're making our
Oh
own
my god,
bread.
yes.
That's
Sounds
great.
right. That sounds
Yeah,
right.
first produced in 1982 by Arnaldo Cavallari.
Incredible. Well, the thing is, so here we have stuff missing because they kind of gave up here in the 2000s.
Right. Well, the web design kind of reflects that.
Yeah, I mean they definitely stopped. They stopped, updating.
Yeah.
So Lynn Oliver created the food timeline in 1999.
Yep.
Okay, so they collaborated with Virginia Tech and College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. Wow, to compile this, and there's a book, so the full information is in the book.
Ah, cool.
But this is like a really cool reference.
Yeah.
If you ever.
It feels very GeoCities, doesn't it?
Oh my God,
design?
yes. Tofurkey 1995. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Is the turducken on the list by any chance?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Turduck. Oh, it is 1980.
Oh, it is. That's the first time some idiot did that.
That's incredible. All right, I'm just stop sharing this tab. Incredible. Oh my gosh. Close up some things, but wow,
Kelly
what a
over in
wonderful.
chat saying Revenge Bread is my new alt band, and I think that's
Yeah,
I fully approve of
yeah.
that. As long as the album is called "Fuck the Baguette."
We are Revenge Bread. I could see that.
Oh my God.
So.
I didn't catch this, Owen. Sandwiches in 1762. Earl of Sandwich playing the famous card game for sure. But yeah, if y'all want to click around on foodtimeline.org, it's super fun. Obviously, we had a good blast just scrolling through. Okay, we have an inquiry from Matt. Food dilemma, please help. Can gyudon be adapted into pizza form? Almost used some leftovers last night on a pie, but already had tomato sauce and mozzarella ready. Didn't think that was the move. Thinking white pizza or maybe QB in the mix. So people who don't know what gyudon is,
Thank you.
Oh, of course, I got you. It is thinly sliced beef that is simmered in a sort of dashi stock. So that is bonito, soy sauce, some sugar, and the recipe varies from there. But there's also it's kind of like beef and onions.
That sounds delicious.
It's like stewy beef and onions. You have it with rice. So how would somebody translate this to pizza? So we're moving from rice to a bread, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fairly easy move. I wouldn't do the tomato sauce personally, because I feel like that's not going to play right. The mozzarella you could probably get away with, though.
Yeah.
Just to
I
give
think
it still that pizza vibe.
Matt's inclination to do a white pizza is pretty close, and in a lot of Japanese cuisine, there's cream cheese and crab. So you could definitely do a cream cheese Alfredo-ish kind of sauce, but use some of the gyudon ingredients to bring that flavor in. So whip some cream cheese with a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of dashi stock. Make sure it's saucy enough that it bakes off, but is not dry and crackly when it's on the pizza. So
Yeah.
I think this would
Is
be
this one
really
of those
fun.
times where you would? I could imagine doing that and adding the mozzarella into that and baking just that off to try to gratinate it a wee bit, and then throwing the gyudon on top of that rather than baking it.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't know if that's the move.
Because gyudon is a thinly sliced beef, so you could very well overcook it quickly.
Yeah.
Or you
Sure.
could do the raw thing and broil it as long as the beef is marinated. There are many ways to approach this problem, I think.
Gratinated is fancy talk for just getting cheese all crunchety and tasty.
Goo.
Oh,
So it starts getting that
Like- if
I
you
like
remember,
there's a word for that. That's fun.
yeah.
It's not Dylan just made it up.
What? Did you? Are you lying to me, Dylan?
Gratinated is a
Gratin, yes, is a word. You remember the boxed instant potato au gratin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, gratinated.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
gratinated is in the damn dictionary, Jen.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's a real
Sorry.
word.
Corrected.
Apparently-
Corrected.
To cook with a covering of buttered crumbs or grated cheese until a crust or crisp surface forms. It's absolutely derived from potatoes au gratin. But we stole it in English because that's what we do as a language.
A lot of stealing English. Owen has a really good alternative here. Cheesify.
Yeah.
Small update, by the way. It's called Ben's Soft Pretzels, and I didn't know this. It's Amish based, so that's another layer of interest.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So they had
the
no
Amish
cultural
mafia.
input whatsoever.
No, it was just like the Amish just sitting around going, "We all like pretzels,
We
right?
like
Yeah, we
pretzels."
love pretzels."
This town needs some pretzels.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Subway ain't Amish enough. Let's get in there.
Let's see, McScuttlebutt says, I had a Peking duck pizza in Taiwan.
Wow.
Yum. I have not had that. That sounds delicious.
I would try that.
I would
Peking
eat
duck,
that.
I would try
anything I would
most
jump on.
pizzas that are like out of the ordinary for pizza. Like I will try pretty much anything in pizza for them.
What is your line? What would you not put it on a pizza?
I don't like seafood much. I don't think I'd put seafood on a pizza. Otherwise than that, I'm ready to go.
Cool.
Like
Yeah.
the idea of like a shrimp pizza just makes my like I just feel
I
my
can't.
innards recoil.
I also don't really like seafood that much myself. I prefer to have it raw or grilled, but not on a pizza. I think it gets overcooked.
I can do sushi. That's it. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only place I can do seafood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan, do you have a line for pizza? Or things that you
My
don't like
line
on
is-
pizza?
Okay, this is an I don't like, not an actual line. 'Cause I understand why they do it in a restaurant. It's a convenience
Sure.
thing. It's perfectly reasonable. Dessert pizzas are silly.
Yes,
Nearly
they are
every
silly.
dessert
They
pizza.
are.
It's just like a pie or a God, you talked about it in the intro vid, the thing with
A galette.
A galette, yeah.
A galette.
If you made a
Yeah.
galette, that would be an actual dessert, but you got lazy. You just if you're at home and you're using what you got to hand, I respect it. If you're in a restaurant and it's one of those just we need a dessert item to push a couple more sales through, and this means we don't have to do extra. I get it. But there's a bit of me that's looking at it and just going, make a pie.
Make a pie. If your pizza
Just make a
and
pie.
you need something on your menu, fine. Do the pizza dessert. That makes sense. Otherwise,
Yeah.
make a pie.
Yeah. I'm with
It is
you.
very
I'm
much
with you on that.
I have this to hand, but I've never seen a person go home and be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go out and get the ingredients to make myself a dessert pizza. No, you're gonna make a cake.
No.
You're gonna be better for it.
It's either gonna be a dessert pizza or it's gonna be a brownie with ice cream. Like those are gonna be one of the two options.
And honestly,
I'm all
a
about
brownie with ice cream is great and is
It's a
properly
classic.
handled.
Yeah, absolutely. Seriously, it's not that hard to make a good brownie. It's not that hard to find good vanilla ice cream. Like this should be a no-brainer.
Done.
Yeah.
So I decided to bring up a controversial topic.
Bagels? Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
The bagel.
Yes.
Fool.
I'm right. I'm right. And people who have challenged me on it have gone, oh wow, Aram's right. When they've
Let's
actually
rewind.
done it.
Let's
Yeah.
rewind so that people don't know your bagel opinions.
Yes.
Crimes.
No,
Okay.
wait, I'm saying opinion. I'm being very neutral.
Yep. Let
Neutral
me sell
language.
it. Let me sell it. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
The best part of a bagel, okay? The best part of a bagel is the combination of differences. You have crunchy on the outside, super soft and pillowy on the inside. You have the hot bagel and the cold cream cheese. All these things have to come into play to work as a bagel really properly. When you slap cream cheese over the entire thing, you put a wet product that is now seeping into that crunch. And the longer it sits there, the worse it gets. If you instead add a dollop of cream cheese with every bite, it has the perfect crunch, the perfect texture. It's exactly the right amount every single time. It is like a delicious prepared little, thing with each bite. You can luxuriate, take your time with it. It becomes an event.
This is
Are you
Aram's bagel opinions.
I'm done.
Now, Dylan, for the con.
Yes. So, we have two flaws in this plan. One is a standard geometric one. You're basically advocating for a dunking food, and a big round object is not a dunking food. If you were to take a bagel and make it a log, that's a dunking
knife. No, look. No, it comes with a knife. It comes with a little teeny thing. Every bagel, I don't care where you get it from, you have a knife. You have a tool to do this with.
Yeah. To break it apart. But
dunking
I'm
it.
saying, like, it is not meant to be eaten like this. It is very clearly
What are you talking
round.
about? What do you mean it's not meant to be eaten?
Your first bite into that is into the roundy bit. The way you're supposed to handle this is, one, your crunch is on the outside. Like the internal, like, if you're getting a good bagel, it should have a crunchy crust on the outside, and then you slice it open and spread it on an already soft surface. The crunch is uncontaminated by your cream cheese. The trouble
That's
is...
not how you eat a bagel. You eat a bagel by slicing it in half and toasting it. You have to toast a bagel to put cream cheese on it. You do,
No, see,
and I know
you're getting your
don't, but
bagels
they're
in.
wrong.
Let's go to the chat. Chat, can you tell us how you like to enjoy your bagels? Because we have some clearly differing opinions here. And if I may add a little anecdote from a since canceled New York Times critic, Mimi Sheridan. She said some really terrible stuff on Twitter last year, but
that'll do it.
She did note in a talk with 92Y, which is a venue here, that bagels are significantly bigger than previously intended.
Mm-hmm.
They are,
Really?
yeah, like the New York bagels are gigantic.
You're eating white people
they are huge.
bagels.
They're huge. They're really fluffy, and a common practice right now, if you order bagels, you can ask them to scoop out the center, like you would scoop out a trencher, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of this conflict, I think, is coming from the fact that we're dealing with bagels that are too big, like way too big, and
So this
you're
is
having
the
this
thing.
visceral reaction about the texture because, you know, you're trying to
Your
find balance.
baseline is wrong.
Right.
No!
Right. Because
That's
when you
not what I was saying.
Well, when you make it larger and larger, you are increasing the inside greatly, but the surface crunch doesn't change that much. So you're really throwing it off.
Yeah, the bigger you get,
We have Owen in the chat. I don't have an opinion, but I'm nominating Aram for Orwell Award for political writing.
I have strong opinions.
Minchi says, that reminds me of the girls I used to work with who would scoop out all the insides. And it's a horrifying thing because you're wasting
My dad
the material.
does this with rolls. Every single roll he scoops out like the majority of the inside. Yeah.
But what you want, it's what people are grasping for, is more of that crunchy texture that you know they're not getting from a really big bagel.
Right.
This is where I come from when I say you're starting at the wrong baseline. Is those bagels, like when you're doing and we're gonna put this in air quotes because food is food. At the end of the day, if you eat it and you're happy, you didn't do anything wrong.
It's food. Yes, exactly.
Correct.
I'm with you
So
on that.
important baseline thing there. But if you're eating a properly made bagel, they're supposed to be cooked in like wood fire ovens, which are incredibly hot. And that's what forms a really strong, crunchy crust on the outside and then the really soft on the inside. And part of the requirement to be able to make sure they're cooked through is you have to have a thin bagel. If it's too thick, then you'll burn the outside before the center dough is cooked.
Yep.
So you're eating mass-produced white people bagels instead of properly made Jewish bagels.
I do have
And
one
that's where
thing
the
to
issue
add on
comes
that.
up.
The other thing we have in our small little lakeside town is this bakery that has the best bagels I've ever had in my life. And part of they do the boiling first, and then they have this giant oven that I've never seen before, where it's like probably like I would say 20 feet long. Like it's a huge opening. Yeah. It stays open all the time, and then there's 3 metal shelves Caesars that rotate in and I've never seen that before. I've never seen anything like them. And the bagels that come out of it are fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's talk favorite bagels. Do you all have like a place you get them that's your like favorite bagel you ever had?
Yeah.
Is that your spot?
This
or do you have
is the
another one?
place. This is also because it's a little town in Michigan. Like I'll go in there and buy like a dozen bagels and their homemade cream cheese that they make, right? And I'll walk out of there for like $11.
Oh, that's the best.
It's amazing.
I love that. I don't know the name of the bakery, but my friends Kate and Anthony go to Montreal like once a year and bring back a bunch of Montreal bagels. And they're incredible. They're chewy, they're smaller. Because the bagels here in New York, I can only eat half of one.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm wasting.
Sure.
Or it takes me 3 days to eat a bagel sandwich here in New York.
Yeah.
But Dylan, do you have a favorite anywhere?
So I live in Ottawa, which has been contaminated by Montreal bagels. Like we're right next to Quebec.
Contaminated. You say like it's a bad thing.
Oh, Quebec. So we have, it's a whole thing. I have to take shots at Quebec, otherwise I'm not an English Canadian. That's the rules. But we have two places. There's a place literally just called the Bagel Shop down the road, and a place called Kettleman's, which is a chain across Ottawa, and both of them make fantastic bagels. And I think the Bagel Shop has maybe like just a hair on actual bagel quality, but Kettleman's has better smoked salmon.
Cool.
So
what is your bagel order?
Cream cheese,
both of you.
smoked salmon, red onion.
Much like with cake, I have an Asiago bagel with cream cheese.
Asiago is a nice choice.
That's great.
Yes, but it's
valid.
cheese bread with cheese.
So
That's what I order.
Cheese on cheese on
is
cheese
good.
on cheese.
Cheese is good. Bread is good. Cheese bread with cheese is good.
It's so good. It's it's such a good combination.
It sounds fantastic. I mean, I haven't had an Asiago bagel in like a decade, I think. But
they're so good here too. They're so amazing. It's called the Broad Street Cafe. It's a very generic sounding thing, but it's on Broad Street, so but it's fantastic. Yeah. And they make an Asiago bagel. Like you can smell it like a block away because it's all fresh, and they have to leave the door open because that oven makes the whole thing so hot. So you can just like wafting down the road. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for indulging me with your bagel opinions, you two.
Yeah. Well, mine's a bagel fact. Dylan's is a bagel opinion, but you are welcome.
Yours is a bagel crime.
You two are so catty. Oh my god. Do you two want to play a game with me in the chat?
Always.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, chat, let's play our pretend game of Chopped. So, folks, if you don't know this TV show, there is a basket with 4 mystery ingredients in it, and the chefs, aka us and the chat, have to use them to make a dish. So there are no wrong answers. The purpose of the exercise is to think about how far ingredients can go and maybe inspire you for your next meal. So let's go, chat. The first 4 ingredients you shout out will be the ones we use. And sorry if you are too slow. So other stuff, I will go through each ingredient individually, but feel free to tell us how you combine 2, 3, or all 4 of the ingredients, and imagine you have all the tools and time you need, and remember, just feed your stuff in the basket. So
Oh my goodness.
let's see what
we're
folks are
starting out
saying.
strong.
Okay, Owen with cream cheese. Oh man. Kelly with peanut butter puffin. This is supposed to be puffin.
I know
Peanut
those
butter
puffins.
puffin cereal.
Yeah.
Great. 2 more ingredients.
Thank
folks.
God, because peanut butter pudding cereal does sound a little off-putting.
A little bit.
Let me pull up a little bit more technical information about cream cheese.
Yeah.
So, soft, usually mild tasting fresh cheese made from milk and cream. So it has stabilizers such as carob, bean gum, and carrageenan in the industrial process. So it's a very it's a good base for things, if that's anything for your inspiration. So let's look up puffins cereal.
That I'm more familiar with. That I
It
understand.
looks like a particularly puffy Captain Crunch. Am I right on that one?
Yes.
It's got that air in the middle kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't
Yeah.
rip up the roof of your mouth like the others do. So Puffin's peanut butter cereal.
Right.
No artificial stuff, 9 grams of sugar, non-GMO, project verified. Yay.
Yes.
Vegan and kosher. Good to know. Good to know.
Not bad.
Let's see. Nutritional information. We've got corn flour, cane sugar, peanut butter, whole grain oat flour, rice flour, sea salt, baking soda, sunflower oil, and some preservatives. But otherwise, has peanuts. I did not know it was vegan. Cool. So far we have these 2 ingredients: cream cheese and peanut butter puffin cereal. If anything is striking anyone.
My first instinct with that would be that I know you can make a really good cream cheese frosting. So you can make cream cheese into a delicious, like, kind of glaze almost. And I bet you could do like one of those marshmallow bars.
Yeah.
Right? But with this combination, I bet you could figure that out.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
I know
My zeroth level. Yeah. Go ahead, Jen.
Go ahead. Oh,
I was just gonna say my 0th level thing was a cheesecake, because
Yeah.
cream cheese, obviously, that cereal is gonna crush up really nice, make a good crust for you. If you really wanted to be fancy, you could take like a heavy cream and just leave the cereal to soak in it, get that cereal milk thing going on, whip it into the cheesecake
like
proper to
Milk
get the
Bar.
flavor.
Yeah.
And then like potentially you could make like a cream cheese and cereal ice cream out of that. I don't know. I've never tried to make ice cream, so you got some options.
could.
But I was going on a very sweet angle, and Minji decided to throw a wrench in that.
Yeah, Minji, thank you for that. Bread and butter pickles. Oh boy.
Cool.
My least favorite, actually. I don't like bread and butter pickles.
I don't like pickles. Full stop. I can do pickled.
You don't like
general
pickles?
stuff. If
I
it's
don't
made
like
with
pickles
cucumber,
What?
I'm out.
I know.
What? You too? Really?
I'm sorry. I know.
Oh
I know.
my god.
I know. Like
Cucumbers
I've literally
have
been trained.
Cucumbers have a very fresh and delicate flavor, and then you soak them in vinegar, remove all of that, and all you've done is create solid vinegar. I don't want it.
I love solid vinegar.
Pickle
though.
something that has a contribution. Pickled red onions, delicious.
Oh my god.
Fantastic, because the red onion survives.
I'm going to read the recipe really quick for bread and butter pickles. So cucumbers, pickling salt, apple cider vinegar. So it's a higher concentration of sugar to salt. That's the difference between this and like a kosher dill. So there's no dill. It's got like celery seed, red pepper flake, and some clove. So it's got a warmer spice, which is kind of why I don't like it, because I like more of a savory, punch in your face kind of a flavor. Yeah. See, Kelly is not the only guest who betrays Jen now. So Kelly last week said that she doesn't like hot dogs, and I was like,
Oh no.
I was like, you get out of my house. I was like, get out of my house. I like literally took her off the stream. I like just flipped her off like this.
Okay.
That's great.
I really want to see what the 4th one is now, because I'm just...
Yeah, we need a 4th ingredient. So far, folks, if you're just joining us, we have cream cheese, peanut butter puffin cereal, and bread and butter pickles to try to make a dish out of. You don't have to do all 3. You can pick 2 things, but
Thank God.
the bread and butter pickles really throwing us off here.
Yeah. It's like just thinking about this combination is upsetting me, and it's upsetting my texture sensitivity. Like everything is going off right now.
No, Owen, it's not breadcrumb encrusted pickles. They call it bread and butter because it has a higher concentration of sugar. So it has more of a sweet taste. And that you could have them with bread and butter, essentially. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
I might be a little wrong on that, but
That sounds right.
I'm going to look more.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing where I would just nod and be like, I accept that. And if it's wrong, it doesn't really matter to me. But like it won't affect my life at all. So I'm just gonna accept those facts.
Their name and broad popularity in the United States are attributed to Omar and Cora Fanning, Illinois cucumber farmers who started selling sweet and sour pickles in the 1920s. They filed for a trademark, and that's where the name comes from. They survived rough years by making pickles with their surplus of undersized cucumbers and bartering them, blah, 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 blah. Taste is often much sweeter than other types of pickles due to the sweet brine, and they differ from sweet pickles in that they're spiced with cilantro and other spices.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah.
Much also like with many
got wonton
things, it was
skins.
bred from innovation.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Wonton
what
skins.
do we get?
Wonton skins.
Wonton skins.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wrappers
let's
used
see.
to make wontons.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
right.
they operate like a lot like pasta dough.
Sure.
So they can be fried, they can be steamed, they can be rolled up, they can be folded, or you can even just boil them as sheets if you wanted
Right.
to. But yeah, they're mostly for stuffing things. And hey, what if we had a sweet wonton? What if we did a peanut butter puffin wonton with the cream cheese filling?
Yeah, that's how it have to be, right?
Then do some cinnamon sugar over the top after you fry it.
We could do something
That might
a
be
little
good,
bit more on the
actually.
savory side and do the cream cheese, make the pickles into a relish. Maybe just to stick with our initial note of the smoked salmon, just kind of mix that through, fold her up in the wonton and deep fry it. And I'm sure we can find a way to do like a sauce, drizzle on top and sprinkle the peanut butter puffin crushed up on top for a little bit extra crunch. And also you get the salt and the peanut. It'll all play into sort of the little Asian vibe.
You just hit on something.
There's a lot of crimes you can get away with by deep frying it. So that always works.
It's true.
I mean,
you just reminded me of gastriques. So gastriques are more vinegar-based fruit sauces that can be used both in a savory application and in dessert. So we could do like maybe a plum gastrique, cook down some plums, strain in that pickle juice, cook it together, reduce it, then it becomes our little syrup dipping sauce for the wontons.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Oh, making pickle juice sound good.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll try anything once. You know what I mean?
Ooh, crazy idea. What if we made shot glasses out of wonton skins and did picklebacks?
How long would they hold it? How long would it
Not
possibly
very
hold
long.
the liquid?
I
Not
don't
very
feel
long.
like
Do
very
it quick. Yeah.
Not long at all. But
Go, 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 go.
Wonder, just to add to the hate crime that is this dish already,
Fair.
because of the sugar content of the brine, I wonder if you could get it to layer with the whiskey.
Oh,
Might be heavy enough that it can
You do
float
the
as
spoon
opposed
trick.
to just, yeah.
Cool.
What if, like, going on? Now, I don't know if this is gonna work because I have no idea. But like, what if, like, the whole milk bar thing, right, where they use the milk cereal, right? You know, and they make the cake out of that. What if you use the brine water to then make whatever, to then replace whatever water would be in this recipe, or like in like in the
In a cake
dough,
recipe.
maybe, you know?
Oh, the way you would get around it, because pickle juice is so acidic.
Right.
The other way you could take advantage of that is, you remember making volcanoes as a kid?
Yes.
Making soda vinegar?
Yeah.
So that is actually a vegan rising agent you can use in some flourless chocolate torts. So
Cool.
vinegar and baking soda make the cake rise instead of using baking powder or
Right.
some other rising agent or leavening. So
Why
we
is
could
baking
do...
powder not vegan?
Oh, it is vegan, but
Oh.
I'm just
Okay.
noting
Yeah.
noting that the combination is used in a lot of vegan cakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My brain
It's
was
used-
like, there's meat in yeast.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
No, it's
Um,
being
sometimes
used as
it's
a
like egg
replacement for
product.
egg aram.
Yeah,
Oh,
Eggs are a
exactly.
leavener.
Oh,
Yeah,
eggs are meat.
so-
Okay, yes, I understand.
Yeah, so
now.
eggs
Right.
can help things rise.
Yeah.
So if we use the pickle brine in a cake batter, we would have to use baking soda to make it
Yeah.
rise.
Okay.
So it's not impossible. And the cool thing about vinegar, when you cook it at high heats, it does cook off. And it leaves behind the spices and not necessarily the sharp flavor.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Minji has a great addition to the shot glass. Sugar rim can be crushed up puffins.
That's hilarious. That's great. That works though.
Oh!
That works.
Here we go. Owen, overcook the wonton to crisp it up, put some pickles on it, dip it in cream cheese fondant with a sprinkling of peanut butter thingy dust. You got a nacho.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, that works.
You can even do
that
those.
Makes it all work.
Do it with like a little bit of dill or cilantro on top. Claim it's an hors d'oeuvre.
There you go.
Set them out on paddles. People will believe that.
Yeah.
So fancy.
I mean, I'd never get past the pickles, but otherwise than that, this does sound pretty amazing.
What you could do is strain off the pickles and re-infuse them with other stuff.
Oh.
So we can rinse out that pickle juice and maybe force in some vodka. You can force in other kinds of brine or other kinds of flavoring agents.
It's not going to help with me because with
I know,
me,
I'm
it's
sorry.
as much of an ADHD.
You just
texture
don't like
thing.
cucumbers.
I just don't like cucumbers. Like I don't like the taste. There are food where I don't like how it tastes, and there is food where the texture is too upsetting for me because of my ADHD and my autism. It just kicks heavily. I just can't do it. But pickles and tomatoes are like I like how tomato sauce tastes, right? But like pickles, tomatoes, they all fit in that kind of like, I don't like the texture. I don't necessarily like how it tastes either. But pickles are like a perfect combination. It's a circle Venn diagram of those two things.
I'm with you on the tomato. I actually still am really weirded out by tomatoes.
There's a lot of things. Like I love orange flavored things. I love orange juice. I can't bite into an orange. Like when I played soccer as a kid and I handed those little orange slices, I would just hold my bag.
Oh, trauma.
I really
orange
wanted
trauma.
We had two options. We had like little orange slices, or they'd have those little plastic barrels of juice with the peel off lid. And I was like, are we getting the barrels? Oh no, we got the orange slices in a little Ziploc bag. I would just sit there all sad with it.
Oh, Rob.
Minji's on the same page I was. I think that's the best way to get all three.
This is such a good idea. Crab rangoon, but with pickles and make a satay puffin sauce. I love that. Satay puffin sauce.
Work.
Yeah, so good. Really, really good ideas. What else? Let's go
sitting here
quick,
trying to figure out.
Quick fire round. Okay, everybody, try to squeeze the rest out of your brain. Like, a whoopie pie.
You got one out of me. I mean,
we got ice cream sandwiches. We got what else can you do with crushed up cereal? But I mean, cereal treat was brilliant to start off with. So
agreed. Yeah. I really mean that's the best I could do though. Like it's two ingredients. And it makes like the most logical sense possible, right? Like you can visualize, okay, that plus that, and it's good. Like that's as far as I can go.
Well, I can already tell you the recipe by heart. The Rice Krispie recipe is a stick of butter melted in a pot, 1 bag of 40 marshmallows, and then because Rice Krispies are so small, it's 6 cups, but with puffins, because they're so large, it would be 5 cups.
Yeah, okay. That sounds great.
So anyone who wants to try that, like, you can report back. Let us know how that turned out for you. But yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Something that's been sitting at the back of my head is I wonder if you were to do the infused cream and do the cream cheese puffin ice cream, if you could take the strained off puffins, maybe add a little bit more flour to have a binding agent, and basically press those into cones.
Yeah.
I don't know if those would
like a
hold
waffle
together though. Yeah, do like a waffle coming out of the cereal itself.
Add more gluten, yeah. But there's vital wheat gluten, there's hard flours, so that definitely could be fixed. It's not a bad idea. I like
Doesn't
it.
get the wontons and the pickles, but no one should get the pickles. The pickles are a bad color.
Strong veto.
We're trying to work with what we've got here.
We're working with what we have.
Last
If
call
you like
from the
pickles,
chat.
that's fair.
Yeah, my first thing would like, how the hell did pickles get in my pantry? But yeah, we'll go with it.
For anyone just joining us in the chat, we're trying to figure out what kinds of dishes could you make with cream cheese, peanut butter puffins, bread and butter pickles, and wonton skins. And we've had a lot of brilliant ideas. But also, if you are not a person who can think on the spot and you want to tweet the answers to me later on when you've had a good think about it, you can tweet me at Randwiches, or you can DM me on Twitter. Here you go. They're scrolling at the bottom. But let's wrap it up and say thanks to our guests. Dylan, Aram, thanks for making the time today and
Thanks
hanging out with me in my chat.
It's a fantastic time.
It's always fun to hang out with you. I had such a blast when you were on your show. This was a lot of fun. You're just an enjoyable person.
Thanks.
Jen's lovely.
Thanks all.
Mhm.
Aw. We have a few announcements for guests as well. Coming up on February 8th, we have Joseph Strom, who is no stranger to our chat. We will be talking about Joseph's newest EP. They play music under the name Mapper, which is some fun synthy stuff. And we're going to talk about cooking and just cyberpunk and fun tabletop role playing. And Joseph is also the host of Lore Club, which is a short form podcast where we are literally reading through all the lore in your favorite video games. So I am a voice on some of these episodes. We're reading through the 36 lessons of Vivek, which is from the Elder Scrolls.
You know, it's so funny you bring this up because I've been playing Marvel Rising Suns, right?
Oh, yeah.
And in these games where like you can explore and walk around, there's always all
Lore.
of this written stuff.
Yeah.
Like pages and pages and volumes of written content everywhere that you can just click on and click away and never look at, right?
Yeah.
And it always struck me as like, who writes all this? Why is there all this content? What would you do with it? And here you go. You found a perfect venue.
We're the podcast that appreciates those sorts of efforts.
I like that.
So yeah, check it out. It's called Lore Club. It's on all the podcast platforms. And then also on Wednesday, February 15th, we have my friend Abby Balingit, who is launching a cookbook called Mayumu, which is the Pangasinan Filipino word for sweet. So she's writing a book about pastries, and she will be here to talk about that and just the process of writing a cookbook, which I am very familiar with, but I'm excited to have you here on the show. But Dylan, Aram, tell the people how to follow you and again reiterate, what is Kill Every Monster?
So you can find everything that we do at killeverymonster.com, and you can find everything I do at aram.gay, which is the best URL.
That is the best URL.
It's the best. Hey, I don't need a business card. I say aram.gay and you're going to remember that.
It's so good.
And if you want to watch Kill Every Monster, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons and you want a show from the perspective of the monster, we dive into what the monster is, and then we allow the guests to play the monster as the main character in the story for once. And we just dive into what that means. And most importantly, we ask 3 questions, but our central question is this creature actually a monster? Or is it just something with hit points they threw into the book?
Every once in a while, it's just a guy.
Just a guy, or more than often, it's just a bear. It's got a claw bite, and it's just another type of bear.
I love it. Dylan, how can people find you?
You can find me, obviously, at killeverymonster.com and on Twitter at DJ Malenfant. And I guess on Google Scholar, I'm a physicist. Kill Every Monster is my sole creative product. You can read my papers if you want to hear about laser spectroscopy.
Actually, that's pretty
bacterial
sick.
samples.
There are people in this chat that are also academics, so they would love that.
I have to work on some cool projects. There are some interesting papers that I'm involved in. Find those.
Awesome.
Cite
oh my
me.
gosh.
Dylan does real smart stuff.
Yeah.
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And I appreciate both of you for coming onto the show this week and hanging out with me in the chat. It was been a pleasure. Please stick around, you two, while I close up the rest of the show. Don't flip off just yet. But everyone else, stick around. We're going to raid someone else. We'll see who is available to raid.
Hey, wait. I'll get the spear. Hang on.
The spear?
Yeah, we're going to go raid. That's what we do, right? We're taking them like Vikings. We are going to go to their channel and take all we wish.
Well,
Let's
actually,
go.
This is what I deal with.
my favorite place to raid is actually the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So everybody please enjoy the aquarium, and we'll see you next week here on Attack the Pantry. Bye everybody. I'm going to put up the goodbye ad.
Bye folks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.